Okay, good.
Donald.
There he is.
Well, he said there's chairs for us.
Well, there's 10
Where all the beers
that
were paid
they're
for.
also.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll stand.
There's a chair for you.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Governor. Good morning.
Hello. Oh, good morning. There's a chair for you. Yep. You're welcome. Good morning, Governor.
Hey, hey, how are you?
Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning. I'm Mayor Jackie Veazey of the Township of Evesham. As Mayor of Evesham, I'd like to officially welcome our guests to the community. I'm proud to serve each and every day. I would like to give a warm welcome to Governor Phil Murphy,
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Congressman Andy Kim,
Yeah.
Congressman Donald Norcross, Senator Don Adiego, Deputy Freeholder Director Tom Pullian, and Evesham Evesham Deputy Mayor Heather Cooper, Councilwoman Pat Hansen, Councilman Ken DeAndrea, and Councilman Bob Deanna. If the COVID-19 pandemic has proven anything, it's that we in Evesham no longer have to think we are a strong community. We know we are a strong community. We know we are Evesham strong. It's the strength of our community that has allowed us to accept the guidance of experts as we successfully educated ourselves about this virus and the preventative measures we could take to stay safe. It's the strength of our community that allowed us to create a special helpline and email address where residents in need could reach out to the township if they had trouble accessing essential goods or feeding their families during this pandemic. That same phone number and email have also allowed us to collect a seemingly endless stream of volunteers with a strong desire to help their friends and neighbors. It's the strength of our community that has allowed us to partner with our local Rotary Club to host ongoing food drives with donations going directly to our residents to help fill our local church pantries whose supplies were diminished by this crisis. When our local restaurants and other essential businesses began to operate under new hours or offer limited services, our municipality worked to reach out to every business in town so we could catalog these changes and promote their information through our website and social media. This ensured our businesses and residents could keep each other strong when they needed it most. Building on the belief that a strong community has strong businesses, we also created the Evesham Economic Advisory Council for Recovery and Revitalization. This group allows me to regularly meet with local business owners and professionals so I can hear their perspective on ways our municipality can stabilize and revitalize our local economy. These initiatives are just some of the steps we've taken on the road to recovery. But just like one member of our community can't do it all alone, we as a township can't do it alone either. We have received endless support from Burlington County and our state representatives and the governor. I want to especially thank Congressman Andy Kim and Congressman Donald Norcross and the entire New Jersey congressional team for their tireless efforts to help our community and our neighboring communities by fighting for the resources and aid we need to keep supporting our residents. I also want to thank Governor Murphy and his staff for working together with all the municipalities as we all needed to make tough yet necessary decisions that would be in the best interest for our communities in these unprecedented times. On that note, I'd like to introduce Governor Phil Murphy.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want everyone to know that Tom wanted me to remind everyone that as Deputy Director of the soon-to-be Board of County Commissioners, I'm proud to say, he's in charge of weather. So he wanted me to make sure I made that point. Good morning, everybody. What a treat it is to end my week in Burlington County in general and in this great community of Evesham in particular, and Mayor, this is the quintessential Jersey town. So I'm incredibly honored to be here. A huge thank you to the Mayor, to Heather, to the members of council for hosting us today. Let's give them in particular a big round of applause. Before I acknowledge some other folks and jump in for a few minutes as to why we're here today, I just want to reiterate something that's just breaking. I'm honored to have selected my friend and a great lawyer, Paramel Garg, to be our chief counsel, succeeding Matt Plotkin. He's been with me from the beginning, and I'm honored that he has accepted that. It was a very tough decision to make because there were several. It's an extraordinary legal team that I'm honored to work with every day, and there were several worthy candidates. Secondly, we put the COVID numbers out today. It's 800 and something new cases, so we're not out of the woods yet. I can't tell you exactly how many new were in Burlington today, but Burlington's got just under 7,500 cases since the get-go. We're still in the struggle. Anybody who tells you otherwise is not paying attention to the facts. So I just want to say throughout this, you all, Mayor, as well as the county, Tom, have been extraordinary. We've worked, as the Brits would say, cheek to jowl with you, as well as with our congressional delegation, with our legislators, Don. And I want to give Mike Delamater a shout out, who's in charge of intergovernmental affairs and has been right at the point of attack on that. And we're not out of the woods yet. You know, we've crushed this unlike almost any American state. But it's a little bit like when you have first and goal. That's great, but you're still going to get in the end zone. And we're not in that end zone. I also want to give a shout out to Dr. Zakiya Smith-Ellis. Zakiya, you give us a wave, who is our chief of policy. And Rob Long, is that you? I didn't recognize you at the mask. Rob Long is here for the Department of Community Affairs. Rob Long does not live 10 minutes from here. I know where Rob lives, but Zakiya does. She's a proud Burlington County resident. So to all of you, I'm incredibly honored to be here today alongside Congressman Andy Kim, who has been one of our state's great advocates in the House of Representatives to deliver the support and funding our state needs to come back from this pandemic stronger, fairer, and more resilient than ever. Andy sits not on one, but on two committees that have a direct impact on our state, the House Armed Services Committee and the House Small Business Committee. But over the past number of months, it is his service on a third committee, the House Select Committee on the Coronavirus Crisis, that has been so vital to our working partnership and to ensuring that our communities and our people get the support they need and which they deserved. I'm also honored to be joined by the guy sitting to my left, another close friend, Congressman Donald Norcross, who's been one of the staunchest fighters for South Jersey and indeed our entire state. He and Andy are a strong 1-2 punch on the Armed Services Committee, and in Donald's case, on the Education and Labor Committee, which is critical to our future and our working families. And Donald just doesn't sit on the Labor Committee. He embodies organized labor and working families because he is himself a proud member. Again, it's also a proud moment for me to be, and pleasure to be joined by my friend, Deputy Director of the Freeholder Board, soon to be County Commissioner Board, Tom Pullian. And Tom, thanks not only for the weather, but I'm looking forward to referring to you in that new title very soon in January. To you and your colleagues, Felicia, and the rest of the team, please give them our best. So we're all pleased to be together to announce an initial $60 million investment of federal coronavirus relief funds to provide direct relief to local governments for costs they have incurred in fighting this pandemic. Some of our counties and municipalities qualified for direct relief from the federal government. However, many others did not. In fact, 12 of our 21 counties did not, and that includes Burlington County, and it includes Evesham Township as well. The new, what we're talking about today, local government emergency fund that we are creating today is about ensuring that all of our communities are treated with equal respect. So over the past 7 months, and Mayor and Heather and council members, I don't need to tell you this, but many municipalities have taken on millions in unanticipated and increased costs. Everything from, and this is a partial list, but to give you some idea of what you've been up against, public safety and health-related expenses, COVID-19 related overtime, increased residential and health-related garbage collection and sanitation services, purchasing remote working technology, signage for residents to know how best to contact local officials regarding our response and recovery, and retrofitting public spaces so they can be reopened, among so many other pandemic-related expenses. So through this local government emergency fund, we can ensure that these costs are covered without the entire weight being placed on the shoulders of local taxpayers through higher property taxes. Now, to be perfectly clear, and Rob is one of the senior guys at DCA, we will have in place strong safeguards to ensure that these funds are put to their proper use, and the department will use a variety of metrics to ensure that these funds are distributed fairly and reach the most affected communities across our state. But for hundreds of communities across our state, as I mentioned in the 12 counties that did not qualify for direct assistance, we know these funds will be a welcome lifeline to them and to their taxpayers. Throughout this process, Andy Kim and his office have been tremendous partners in making sure that the needs of New Jerseyans have been kept front and center in the ongoing discussions in the Capitol. He is, after all, New Jersey's only representative on that special select committee, on the coronavirus crisis. And he has made sure that our entire state has remained his focus. And to me and my staff, not to mention his constituents, the Congressman has never been more than a quick phone call away. I want to say this as strongly as I can. This $60 million spread across those 12 counties, both at the county level and municipal level, including right here in Evesham, this does not happen without Andy Kim. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, unaffiliated, and neither does he. This does not happen without him. He has been unrelenting in getting this money. Now, as the House continues to work on the next round of coronavirus relief, his voice and Donald's voice just as strong and just as powerful alongside of him, and the voice of New Jersey will be more important than ever. And I know they are not going to stop fighting to bring us back our fair share. So with that, back to you, Mayor. To you and so many of your colleagues across the state, I am so proud that our administration and the Department of Community Affairs, in particular, under the leadership of the rockin' Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver, is here to help you and your taxpayers in the face of this unprecedented crisis. And again, to you, Andy, I extend my thanks for all you've done and will keep doing on behalf of your constituents here in every New Jersey, and likewise, Donald, to you and yours. You're another warrior, with two warriors sitting right there to Don's right. So with that, it is my pleasure and honor to bring up to the podium your Congressman, the singular, the one and only, the reason why we're here today, Andy Kim.
Thank you, everyone, for coming here today. Thank you, Governor, for joining us here in Evesham to be able to talk about such an important contribution to our community here. I have been so proud to be able to work alongside Congressman Don Norcross, the New Jersey delegation, to be able to deliver for our state during such a tough time. We know that we got hit early on, that we were the center of this epidemic in the entire world at the very outset of this in our country. We've been through a lot together. And our delegation has worked tooth and nail and fought tooth and nail for us to be able to deliver everything that we need and deserve here in New Jersey across all of our counties. That's what this is about today, is just fighting for what is fair and what we need. What we have gone through has been a national security crisis. It has been an unimaginable death toll and suffering across this nation, and we have felt it right here in Burlington County. We have a lot that we need to be able to do, to be able to heal, to be able to recover, and this funding is essential for that. I'm really grateful for the leadership of the mayor, of Tom and the entire team at the county level, for all the township council here, Because what we know is that there's no single level government alone that can solve the problems that we're facing right now. If ever there was a time where we work together for common cause, putting aside the partisanship, it's right now. In this national security crisis, it demands for us to be better and to be able to treat our constituents, treat the people in our town as the neighbors, as the family that they are. I'm proud to be here, standing here today, because I grew up just down the road from here, over in Kings Grant, just down Barton Run, where my mother and my father still live. This is the community that raised me. The reason why my mom and my dad chose Evesham to raise me and my sister is because of the great schools, the safe community, and that's exactly what it is. It's a community. People looking out for each other. Growing up here, no one asked me if my family were Democrats or Republicans. We were just people here, growing up here, going to Little League here, hitting my first home run here. This is what I love about Evesham, what I love about Burlington County. So as we hear and we're talking about how much money is coming back, the millions of dollars to Burlington County, the millions of dollars to other communities across our state, let's not think about that in terms of just dollar signs. Let's not think about that in terms of just talking points that are out there for us to show what we're delivering. We think about it in terms of the lives that are being affected and the people who are going to benefit from this. People like my mom and dad, who again still live over in Kings Grant. People that I've been worried about, as both of them have pre-existing conditions. My mother, a nurse right here in the community, hasn't gone to work in a long time because of the fear about the virus. It has changed my family as it has all of yours. What we need here is every resource that we have available through this crisis to be able to do that. Congressman Norcross and I are committed to continuing the fight for each and every dollar to come back to New Jersey. It is what is fair. We know that already New Jersey doesn't get our fair share back from the federal government, that we only get back about 81 cents for every dollar we put it into the federal treasury. What we're asking for is just what is fair, especially during this crisis. So I feel incredibly humbled to be here, to be able to stand here with the governor in the town that raised me, in the district where I have the chance to be able to represent the place where I went to kindergarten, where I'm raising my two baby boys here. All of us are here because we have our hearts in this location, in this town, in this county, in this great state. And all of us will continue to fight together to be able to get through this crisis. And if we do that right, I am certain that we'll come out on the other side of this crisis stronger than we were going in, because that's what this state is about. God bless New Jersey. Thank you.
I love that, Andy. Great job, bud. You have to leave early or not?
A little bit.
Okay, no problem. Let's hear it one more time. Congressman Andy Kim, the reason we're here today. Andy, the one thing I want to follow up on, do you have that home run on videotape that you could share with us? Donald just said the same thing, so that's okay. So we want to go down. Mayor, can we go down and touch home plate maybe after the event, just to thank you so much, not just for your words. God bless your mom and dad and your two little kids. And as you said, this virus has changed the lives of all of us, most profoundly of the over 14,000 families confirmed who have lost a loved one, and another 1,700 and something more that are likely to have lost a loved one to COVID. So, Andy, again, we're not here today unless it's you. So thank you. You deliver the bacon here, and that's what this is about. And it takes a team, and we've got an extraordinary delegation representing us in Washington in both the Senate and in the House. And I used the word earlier, he's a warrior. He embodies working families. He is from one himself. He is from an organized labor champion. Please help me welcome another great representative of our state, Congressman Donald Norcross. I was going to make a Mick Jagger comment, but I
Good afternoon. It is absolutely great to be here. As a young boy, my brothers and I used to spend summers at Lake Pine, back when Kings Grant was nothing but trees. It was a great time, as it still is. It's remarkable how much this area has transformed as an economic engine. Governor, great to have you here, and thank you for what you're doing literally every day. Freeholder, soon-to-be commissioner, for what you do each and every day, working together. And that's what I want to reiterate about what Andy said. This is a team approach. Mayor, you understand this from a very gut level of the challenges we face. But I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to the essential workers that keep our country running. Amazing in a pandemic that we continue to have a new normal where there's still food available, that for many people can still have their job and do it from home. For those who are wearing a uniform, whether it's with a badge or a white scrub coat, those down on the ports to the ones who are at the supermarket, from the bottom of our hearts, we want to say thank you. We know what you risk each and every day, and we appreciate it. 8th month, Governor. Remarkable. So as we were first told about this late February, early March, the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, understood what this meant to America, the challenges that we were going to face. And she brought together a select committee. So of 435 members in the House, she picks out those special few. And one of those was Andy Kim. That just speaks volumes of the legacy that he carries with him, the knowledge from what he did before he was elected to Congress, but more importantly, what he has done since he's been there. A calm voice, a voice of reason, but of one that understood what our country faces. And Andy, we're proud to have you from New Jersey to take that voice around here. But for the communities, the over 500 who were into the legislation, you have to understand the CARES Act was passed in late May and signed into law, but was worked on. We thought we had a handle on what the pandemic would entail, but after 8 months, we understand we had to be flexible. And that's why we're working on the HEROES Act, which up until just 2 days ago, we thought we were in a very good place to have a deal. Those negotiations between Eushan and Speaker Pelosi were going on until the president literally walked away from the American people. He got a reaction, and for once he listened, because now he's put the signals out that he wants to have that conversation again. Because it is about the state, the counties, the local municipalities who need this money. And when you say money, I want to reiterate what Andy said. This is about help for people. We see each and every day folks who never in a million years thought that they would have to be in a food line because of food insecurity. So what happened? Andy makes sure that those conversations about SNAP benefits are available, that there's money for food banks, as you know, Governor, coming down, that there's money for education, childcare, because schools aren't open on a regular basis, putting stress on the parents and their job, if they have one. So on behalf of a grateful country, Andy, we thank you for what you've done and the voice that you carry. God bless. Thank you.
Really well said. One more time, let's hear it for Congressman Donald Norcross. I want to reiterate, we have state police here, we have county, we have Evesham police. Let's give a big shout out to our members of law enforcement. God bless you guys. So as I introduce Tom, who will be our last speaker, who's another dear friend, I mentioned, and I don't want to be flippant about this, this is a big deal, signed into law, converting the title of freeholder to county commissioner. Andy, I know you may have to leave early because you're on the trail, so bless you, and if you do, we completely understand. This is a true story. I was in a food bank having a conversation with Steve Sweeney and Joe Cryan, two extraordinary senators. Angela Garrettson, African-American freeholder from Union County, walked up to the three of us and said, guys, I need your help. I don't think I can really hold out much longer with this title of freeholder, given all the connotations and legacy associated with it. And we all looked at each other. It was one of those light bulb moments where we said, you know what? You're absolutely right. She independently at the same event spoke to Speaker Craig Coughlin, and the machine got put in place immediately. legislated overwhelmingly in both chambers and signed into law. It's about time. So I'm incredibly proud that we did that together. And with that, a guy who has that title, who's been another warrior on behalf of Burlington County, and again, a dear friend and somebody who's out there fighting for everything for every single person in this county. Please help me welcome the Deputy Director of the soon-to-be Board of County Commissioners, Tom Pullian. Love you, buddy.
Wow. I don't know how to take that. That's overwhelming. Thank you. I'm here in a capacity, actually dual capacity. Some people know that I'm also administrator of one of the county's municipalities. So as I speak today, I want you to understand that I see the benefit of the work that these three gentlemen have done, not only at the municipal level, but at the county level as well. Good morning. As you heard, my name is Tom Pullian. I'm currently the Deputy Director of the soon-to-be Commissioner Board of Burlington County. I've spent the last 25 years of my life in local government service, first with the Edgewater Park School Board and Township of Edgewater Park Committee. For the last 3 years, I've had the honor of representing the county on the Burlington County Board of Freeholders. I can tell you that in all that time, I've never experienced a crisis like the one we're faced this year with the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. And while we've come a long way since March, we know that the virus is still active and that we all must continue to do everything we possibly can to prevent the spread. Government has a lot of responsibilities, but job number one is to try to protect our residents' health and safety. Governor Murphy understands that, and so do our two South Jersey Congressmen, Andy Kim and Donald Norcross. They know that the virus won't just go away. They know this crisis requires all levels of government to work together. In Burlington County, we've mustered all our personnel, resources, and energy towards helping residents weather this unprecedented crisis. Back in March, we became one of the very first counties to launch free COVID-19 testing for our residents, medical staff, and first responders. Earlier this week, we announced the expansion of our program to include home testing for any Burlington County resident, student, or worker employed in the county. We've distributed close to 2 million pieces of PPE to first responders and our long-term care providers. And we're now offering zero-interest loans to small businesses that are struggling. We're able to provide this help because our state and federal partners, just like our county government has made it our priority to help our residents through the pandemic, leaders like Governor Murphy, Congressman Kim, and Congressman Norcross have made sure that Burlington County and our local governments aren't battling coronavirus by ourselves or leaving it to our property taxpayers to foot the bill for the response. Governor Murphy and his administration have already promised us over $3.5 million of the state's Federal CARES Act money to finance our expanded testing program and reimburse us for other COVID-19 related expenses. Today, he's chosen to come here to Burlington County to announce more help both for our county government and also our municipal governments who are also on the front lines in this fight. This is how governments are supposed to work together for the betterment of the residents they serve. We can't thank Governor Murphy enough for his help. Likewise, we're lucky to have leaders like Congressman Kim and Norcross representing us in Washington to fight to make sure the federal government lives up to its responsibility to our people and provides the resources states like ours need to carry on our battle. Like I said earlier, only by all of us working together can we defeat this virus and allow our residents to feel safe and secure again. Today is another big step forward, so thank the three of you very much. On a personal note, I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of elected officials over my 25 plus years, and I want to say something. We have three of the finest that I've ever worked with in Congress and our governor. These folks don't just talk words or say things, they walk the walk. And I'm very proud to know them and work with them. One of the things that has amazed me and amazes my colleagues and residents, everything that they promised when they were running for election, they have either achieved or they're working to achieve. And where I sit, that's all you can ask for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, man. Let's hear it again for Deputy Director, a great leader, Tom Pullian. So that's the end of the program. Mayor, I got to say to Jackie that it's so well run in Evesham Township, you have your own carpets, which we've been standing on. That shows you that every little detail counts. By the way, this money, Sheila Oliver and Rob and team will oversee the distribution, and I'll anticipate a question we might get in a few minutes. I'll do a quick off-to-the-side press gaggle, but it's a formula that's going to be based on population, it's going to be based on rate of infection, and it's going to be based on the fiscal toll that you've taken. And we think that those three elements are the most relevant and most important. So from right to left, Tom, Jackie, thank you to you and Heather and the council for hosting us and for everything you do every day. Donald, you're the best. Thank you for being here. Andy, likewise, we would not be here without you. Senator, bless you. Don, honored to have you with us. To each and every one of you, thank you for being here today. God bless you all and have a great holiday weekend. Thank you.